I'm here today to talk about Greek tragedy.
It's a blend of 1, 2, and 4-year barrels.
Or 3, he disappeared.
The hops in this one are Herkules and Calypso hops.
So that's the mythology.
Yeah, exactly.
The mythological name.
It's fun for the whole family.
Hi, I'm Greg Zeschuk from Blind Enthusiasm Brewing Company, and I'm here today to talk about Greek tragedy, our next beer. As always, we've tasted the beer before this session. We're cheating, but we want to give you the best possible tasting notes. Doug, what is this beer?
So this is Greek Tragedy. Greek Tragedy is one of our dry hop beers. It's a blend of 1, 2, and 4-year barrels.
Or 3, he disappeared.
Yeah, pour 3. Like all of our beers, we blend to make sure we get like the best product possible. And when blending for this one, we had some really good 4-year, some really good 1-year, some 2-year, and it made the best blend for what we were going for with this.
Cool.
The hops in this one are Herkules and Calypso hops, which is why the name kind of ended up as...
That's the mythology.
Yeah, exactly.
The mythological name. So, do you want to start opening it?
Perfect.
All right. So Doug's going to open this beer. Meanwhile, Tom's told me I need to fill this space because if the space isn't filled, viewers drop off immediately. So I'm asking you, be prepared for maybe an explosion or some excitement. But there actually isn't any because Doug's a very professional opener.
I was going to say, give me some credit, man.
No, Doug's never hit me yet with the bottle. I've hit myself multiple times. But anyway, we're going to pop this open and do some tasting. Here we go. Ah, very nice, very nice. See, like no action, no excitement. All right, do some pouring.
Tell the people about the cork.
I will tell them about the cork. So we use some of the best cork possible. We've actually upgraded it for the future beers. You can see even fancier corks. These are wax. These are like all tested and all verified. Very, very consistent. People often smell a cork, and you can do that. But it kind of smells like cork and maybe a little bit of beer in our case. But these corks, you see monogrammed fancy corks, and you're going to see some new ones in the next 6 months or so. So Doug has poured a beautiful golden beer here. And look at that. Look at those pours. It's like television. Incredible. And he's laying the bottle out stylistically. Look at that. All right. We're ready to roll. Well, now we've got the sample. So we'll try this and look at this beautiful golden beer. This is 6.7% ABV. Ooh, fine aromas. Obviously really golden, great clarity. What are you smelling?
It's quite different and unique, especially with like some hops being in there, but it's like light pepper, very herbaceous. There's a little bit of like apple, pear kind of palm fruit thing going on. And then because of the barrels that we were using and the time in the cellar, there's like a little bit of mustiness in the beer.
Kind of like, it's, again, not super prominent, but just a little hint of it in the finish there. Flavor-wise, I mean, this is one of those ones that's really interesting, is that the flavor actually is quite different than the aroma. Like a lot of our beers, you find the aroma and flavor very closely matched. This is not one of those. I mean, talk a bit to that, because you talked about like the herbaceous, like peppery front on that one.
Yeah, so there's some of the same notes into the flavor, but the emphasis has definitely changed. You have those light peppery notes more as a subtle background, like there was in the aroma. So with the flavor, you get into more like ripe pear, ripe apple. There's like this real nice hint of like cedar character, almost like woody. The herbaceous pepper notes take a background. So there's a real big difference in like balance of flavor. Definitely more fruity in the flavor compared to the aroma.
More herbaceous in the aromas.
Yeah.
The acidity in this is actually really delightful. Like I really like the roundness. I mean, why don't you talk a bit more to the acidity? It's really, really pleasant.
Yeah, I'd full-heartedly agree with that. It's like round, soft. It really complements like the subtlety of a lot of the character in the beer, from the hops and the fruity quality. And it's lighter than some of the ones that we've been putting out as of late, but really fits and suits this beer.
Like that sort of like, I think also like the texture. The texture of this one is really nice. It's got that coating element, and I definitely feel a bit in the back of my throat. Can you talk a bit to that?
Yeah, the acidity definitely helps with that texture too, being subtle, and that coatingness that the acidity brings is emphasized by the round quality of the beer. And then there's, like you were mentioning, there's like a drying tannic quality in the finish, just on the back of the palate.
Yeah, and this one seems a little lower carb than a lot of ours. Is that fair? Like kind of a like not quite as carved as most?
Yeah, so this one be like medium light compared to a lot of them. It's starting to get into like really reminiscent of wine, both in like the flavors and then also like a little lighter carb, a little softer in the texture, everything like that.
Yeah, I mean, it strikes me this is like really balanced. Like all the, some of our dry hop beers are really aggressive. Like, I mean, there's a really strong tropical character, for example, in Galaxy Saws, and like certain elements that are really pushing it. But I think this one is really well integrated. Like, yeah, the fruitiness, the herbaceousness, the sort of that balanced acidity.
These hops are very like balanced, subtle hops. They're not your typical like big, huge, Australian hops, for example. The beer needs to reflect that as well. It's more balanced, more soft beer, so that it highlights with these hops that the subtleties in them and everything.
So you did this on purpose.
Mostly, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I know it's a really neat addition to our dry hop series of beers. But Greek Tragedy, everyone. I hope you enjoy it.